And welcome to another day, another night, I should say, of Vantage League Esports. Today we are casting some Galactic Division action. We have Repop Maokai versus Sticks. Who are they playing today?
They are going to be playing against Bear Dogs. Sorry, I had
Bear
to catch my
Dogs.
notes real quick.
I believe their name is Savage Bear Dogs as well. Looking for a great competition today. Uh, these team comps actually a little bit more conforming than we usually expect out of Vantage League. We have 4 Repot Maokai, a Eloi, Lee Sin on Gundam Grimgird, Ninja Blood 2 on some of his fave assassin picks with the Fizz, ADC Kai on the Caitlyn, and Monster Energy on this Nami. And then 4 Savage Bear Dogs, we have Skull's Head playing the Gragas top lane, Shaco on the Olaf jungle, 789 with the Xerath mid, some that is not a very niche pick these days. Quit badgering me on the Sivir and XFX on the Lulu support.
And especially on the side of Savage Bear Dogs, we see a much more meta composition, something that you would see more on an LCS. Gragas has been coming into the top lane as a more common pick because of his utility and his ability to interact with Stoneborn Pact. I'm not actually sure what Skull is running this game, but Gragas' kit favors Stoneborn Pact within a team fight oriented composition very strongly. Olaf, as we know, has been a pretty domineering force in the jungle, just an overall solid pick for a long time. Also somebody who I think his power has been up with the addition of Stoneborn Pact into the game. The synergy with Zax is very strong. Xerath is coming into the meta as we see more poke compositions start developing, and Lulu Sivir just an overall very standard bot lane. You see a lot of comfort picks coming out of Maokai during the game with Curtis on her obvious main of Alawi. Gundam tends to play these much more aggressively minded junglers, these early game junglers, these pressure junglers, Lee Sin, Rengar, the like. Ninja is our resident assassin player, and Kai is just a very solid AD carry playing what is really one of the more commonly known strong AD carry picks in Caitlyn right now.
And we already saw a little bit earlier, a little bit of cheeky play as Repot did try and get a deep ward in around the 145 2-minute mark into the jungle of Bear Dogs, trying to spot out that Olaf possibly going from his red buff to the blue buff, but then Savage Bear Dogs responded by putting down a ward on their red to counteract the invade, and things are just starting off really slow. You see the first Drake of the game will be Cloud Drake. Not the best you want, but we've discussed this before. It can be something to look forward to in late game if you grab it. I think our focus should really be on how this top lane goes. Mid lane, Xerath should be pretty safe. The Fizz will be able to dive him at level 6, but until then, he can really farm at a distance. And in bot lane, we might have some 2v2 action, but both junglers are playing toward that top side of the map.
A little bit of action going down with the first blood coming out. Very interesting little invade trade pattern that ended up happening there. Just a lot of really aggressive play on both sides. Good response by Ninja, but overall just not necessarily a situation that Shaco wanted to be in there.
And we actually see XFX taking a lot of damage from ADC Kai. He won't go down, even though ADC Kai did burn the flash to try and get him. He did throw out a Piltover Peacemaker to try and see if he can clip the Lulu, but it will not happen. But XFX and Quip Badger Me actually stay in lane. They are super low. But I don't know if Monster Energy and ADC Kai can capitalize on this so far. Monster, if he can land a flash off of Prison, might be able to net ADC Kai a kill. But we'll see so far. They have lane pressure. We see Lee Sin looking to back up the Eloi a little bit, but still no real jungle pressure coming to his bot side. Olaf might make his way down there, so.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of trading in this bot lane. Caitlyn Nami is the lane that is very good at punishing and gaining advantages, but not someone who is good at, and Olaf coming down.
And Olaf is coming through the lane. Who will he hit with the undertow first? He just goes for Monster Energy, trying to kill this Nami first, but ADC Kai is still there for the taking, however. They will chase her down, and he will go down to Sivir. Quit badgering me, getting that kill on the Sivir, trying to get him ahead in lane. Shaco tried to continue the chase onto Nami, but it will not follow. And there we go, just jungle presence. We see Shaco getting active first on the map.
Yeah, and that was just a little bit of an oversight on the part of Kai and Monster. They were feeling a little bit of the power, the power of being able to pressure with Nami and Caitlyn, and they just didn't ward their flanks. They got into a bad position. You can't be in a situation where an Olaf can axe you before you get vision of him. He will just chase you down. I would like to mention there was a lot of discipline on that play by Shaco to actually go onto the Caitlyn. He could have probably chased down the Nami, but it was questionable whether Sivir was going to be able to actually kill the Caitlyn there. So just props on him for having a really good gank path there and knowledge of the pressure to be able to get an opportunity for that gank on the timing.
And the Sivir is going to need all the help she can get in this bot lane. As you said before, it's a high pressure lane, this Nami and Caitlyn. And it's a very good thing to go ahead and get her that one kill. She went and bought the coal, so eventually she will hit a nice gold spike and will be able to keep up in this lane. But tell me about what Repop Maokai has to do to win this game. We see Hertislia on her signature Ill-Eye pick, but how does she fare against this Gragas, and how does this all tie into how they will play later on in this match?
I have not actually seen the Illaoi Gragas matchup play out enough to speak on it thoroughly. I would imagine that just with any other tank matchup, if Illaoi can hit her test of spirits, then she'll be able to just continuously trade down onto the Gragas. That's how I would imagine it going, but Gragas has surprising trade potential with his W, being able to deal the max percentage HP on a very short cooldown. Plus the damage reduction. So I think that if Illaoi is given an opportunity to get ahead and they're able to utilize her split pushing force with the strong pick potential of Fizz and Lee Sin during this game, they're going to have a lot of success. But that's sort of the name of the game with any Illaoi pick. You need them to be strong. You need them to be able to be their own person rather than having to force into a team fight.
And we see Shaco looking for a gank in this mid lane. Fizz did use his ultimate earlier, and now they're looking to capitalize, but he still might have the Playful Trickster available. If he can land an Undertow or get him to waste the Playful Trickster on the Undertow and allow Xerath to hit that stun. Xerath hit the stun as Fizz goes in, but Lee Sin is here to back him up. Gundam Grimgird will land the Q on his 789, but Shaco will back off and no engage will go through. Just a very good counter gank from Grimgird to make sure the Fizz stays up, even though that stun did hit.
And very good positioning by Shaco to make sure that his mid laner doesn't die there. That was a very high kill potential gank on the Lee Sin there if Shaco doesn't show up immediately.
And we actually see a little bit of action in bot lane. XFX almost goes down. Curtis does kill Gragas in the top lane. I was not watching that to catch it. I was watching this bot lane because XFX almost went down. Stood on a trap. They had a chance to kill the ADC Kai, but she stood on a trap. I don't know if intentionally to try and bait the Caitlyn back in to try and get a Piltover Peacemaker to finish it. But what happened in top lane there, Styx? I know you were watching that.
Well, you see the Illaoi splash cooldown is down to I am at 835. Do we need to restart? Okay. Do you go? Okay. Illaoi actually flashed under the tower towards Gragas after hitting a hard chest of spirit, being able to chase with her W to cause the tentacle on the right side, right outside of his turret, to slam him down and kill him. That was very, very knowledgeable of her limits there on the champion, and she has the damage to do that.
And we expect nothing less out of Hertislia. The Illaoi, like we said before, her signature champion, one of her best champion, could be said arguably. And these type of mechanical plays are to be expected from her. Now we kind of see things slow down a little bit. It's still 2-2. I believe Hertislia and Repop Maokai have a small goal lead, getting up there to about 1K. And we see Skull's Head just taking so much damage from the tentacles, trying to protect his spirit from being taken so they can stop the harass. But it's just a hard lane for him right now. And Repop Maokai.
Melee lane. any melee lane into an Alawi is going to be rough. When you don't have a good way to stay out of range for Test of Spirit, when you have to walk up to CS, it's going to be very difficult to actually deal with her as a champion. The important dynamic here to look at, though, is that we see Ninja actually hitting
we see 789 get hit by the ultimate, like you just said. The Ignite goes down, the Playful Trickster gets the kill, 789 goes down, and that should actually be able to secure Repop Maokai Drake if they choose to go for it. But it looks like Lee Sin is going to head over there, and he will actually start it up right now.
It's very important that this Fizz is getting a lead, and then he's got a 23 CS lead on this Fizz right now. That's a huge deal in a poke lane. Fizz obviously has the engage potential, but it's super important for this Fizz to get ahead. We know what Ninja can do when he's ahead on his half.
And Shaco actually tried to go in to contest. The Wild Growth will be popped, and so will the Ragnarok. Shaco takes down Grimgird with him as he goes down to 1-point trade so far. Quick Badgerme is trying to make something out of this, but the crit, the magical crit out of Ninja Blood 2 gets the kill. The Urchin Strike comes through. The Playful Trickster will finish XFX, and that is a double kill on this bitch. He is 4-0, and Cloud Drake going to repop Maokai.
And right after I'm talking about how important it is that Ninja's ahead, he picks up a few more kills. Just he has every potential in this game to hard carry if his team enables him here, and he's on his main champion. I think that is all looking up for Maokai here. Again, I think that Beardogs has the stronger overall composition here. Maokai's composition has very obvious flaws that can be exploited, specifically because of the Alawi pick, but we'll see if they're actually able to capitalize on this.
And 789 is coming to pick on that Alawi pick. She pops the Test of Spirit. Skull's Head will hit her with the explosive cast. She's trying to take out 789. She hasn't gone down yet. Shaco will join them. The Undertow misses, but she will go down eventually with Skull's Head, and that will be Hurtus going down to 3v1.
And right there you see why Gragas is theoretically an extremely good pick against Alawi. Alawi throws down her ulti to try and hit the 2v1. Probably would have killed both of them, but instantly gets barreled out. The displacement effects against Alawi are extremely powerful.
I want to circle back around to that Drake, and I just had to wonder why Beardogs would even contest that. As a quick Badgerme will go down to ADC Kai possibly. Does he have the ace in the hole? We don't know. He pops heal to stay alive. He steps another trap. The flash, the Q, not the Q, the auto attack, empowered, gets the kill, and now 789 may go down to this Fizz. The Urchin Strike misses, but he does get the kill from the activated W, and he will play for Trickster out. Shaco will fall with the Ragnarok, and he will get the shutdown kill onto the Fizz, and that was a wild series of trades, but I don't think any of it really went in the Beardog's favor except for the shutdown on the Fizz, and even then you don't really want it onto the jungler Olaf.
And that even went more in the favor of that Fizz because of the way that the lane was pushed. His minion waves were actually underneath the tower when he dove 789, which is actually the ideal time that you want to dive somebody to force them away from that XP and to reset the wave towards you. So now the wave's going to crash on the side of Beardogs here, and it's going to eventually push back towards the Fizz, which gives him an overall XP advantage.
And before that entire hectic thing was saying, but it's just a trend of how all these players are just not going in the Beardog's favor. They go and try and stop the Drake, which I don't believe was the best decision since it's just a Cloud Drake. You can let that go, and then they try and make plays across the map to counteract that loss, and it still just doesn't go in their favor. And we've actually seen this throughout the season since the first time we casted the Repop Maokai, where it seems a lot more plays go in their favor than not. As we see Hurtus Leah pop the Test of Spirit, trying to possibly get a kill, but it will not go down. I actually keep getting that wrong. It's the Leap of Faith, not the Test of Spirit. The Test of Spirit is the E, but the Leap of Faith does get popped, trying to get the kill on the Skull's Head, but it just won't happen as Gragas is too far under his tower, and she will take the back.
Yeah, going to the Dragon, I think that it was really just an attempt to gain back some tempo, moving as a 3-man unit to try and snipe the kill on the Lee Sin that they knew was going to be trying to take that after the kill in the mid lane. The problem is that they weren't anticipating where Repot's spot lane was, what their position on the map was after their back. So Maokai was just able to collapse on them and make it into a 3v2 rather than the 2v1 after killing the Lee Sin that they thought that it was going to be. It's going to be very difficult for Bear Dogs to be able to get a lot more of this tempo back, which a lot of these games that we see advantage do come down to tempo of the gold swings. You see champions like Fizz start to get these advantages, and then they just start crushing because teams aren't able to slow their momentum down enough.
And Gimgard
moved by Gundam.
Very fancy, as he got caught out by Shaco in the jungle, but then uses the blast cone plus the safeguard onto a ward to go back, and he's going back in on Shaco, and they might actually get this kill. Shaco has nowhere to go. He has no Ragnarok either, but does Caitlyn have the ace in the hole? I don't believe so. We see her just fighting Skull's Head in the jungle as well. She should win this fight. It is a Illinois in close quarters combat that usually is not a good thing for the enemy. She misses the test of spirit, and Gragas will be able to back off. I mean, what great mechanics from Gimgard right there to kind of turn that one around in his favor. It's just unfortunate that Caitlyn didn't have the ace in the hole, but they will start to push this three-man, this tier 1 turret in top lane. We'll start to push it 3-man, and they'll get that blue turret and continue this gold lead. And we kind of see that they've sort of activated the 1-3-1 push right now. 789 is trying to go for the kill on Monster, and Monster will pop the flash to get away from the Q. But like I was saying, we see the 1-3-1 kind of activated. Hertislia cannot be stopped in top lane, and Fizz and Ninja Blood on this Fizz cannot be stopped in the bottom lane, and they just have sent ADC Kai and Monster in the mid lane to continue to farm out these free waves and keep the pressure on.
And this is something that people really undervalue in these sort of evergreen, just generally powerful champions such as Lee Sin, or at least I call them evergreen, and that they can manipulate situations to what they need them to be. Their kits are complex enough that they're able to play multiple situations in a multitude of ways, and that's where the unpredictability of some of these Lee Sin do come from. You really get to see the power of Lee Sin's kit there a little bit, with a lot of knowledge of how to use it properly.
And Hertis pops Leap of Faith, going for the 1-1 again. She should get this kill on Skull's Head. He popped the explosive cast. He body slams across the wall, and here comes Shaco to assist him. Can Shaco take her out? What challenger comes next? Can he do it? He pops the Ragnarok, but Hertis continues to lifesteal off these tentacles, and neither one of them can take her down as she pops the Master Emote for a little bit of BM, and she's just unstoppable right now. This Illinois has taken off on this snowball, and Repot will get this Cloud Drake. Ninja Blood wants to kill on the quick Badger Me, gets her to pop her flash. She's taking turret shot after turret shot. Will go down to half health, but both of them will leave unscathed for the most part.
Notice that aggressive positioning on the Fizz, though. Ninja tends to play a very high-risk, high-reward style even when he's ahead, and that might be where Bear Dogs is able to pull something out here and gain some of these advantages. Beck is in his over-aggressive playstyle.
Ooh, XFX is engaged upon by Gundam, is forced to pop the Wild Growth. That is an important summoner spell, as ADC Kai is steadily dodging Bear's skill shots left and right. Fizz actually went in on the Sivir, and Gundam Grimgard killed the Lulu, and that's what I was just saying. Once that Wild Growth was popped, they wanted to go in. Skull's Head will try and salvage something, but he cannot land the body slam on the Fizz. The playful Trickster is too much, and that is 2 kills going to Repop Maokai for the price of none.
And Gundam's kind of playing out of his mind at the moment. He's been playing very well in the last 5 minutes, and Alawi is doing Alawi. They really need to swap the bot lane to the top lane here. Try and get some range to actually divert these waves away from the Alawi to make sure that she can't pressure these towers anymore. Just get Gragas and farm in the bot lane, and then rotate him to the mid lane so that they can get a decent teamfight presence going. Because if they just keep answering the Alawi with this Gragas here, you're just going to continue to get punished, and they're going to slowly just bleed tower damage. It's just an overall lose-lose situation for Bear Dogs to take on the dash.
And Shaco pops Ragnarok. He's hit 2-3 undertows right now. He's looking for ADC Kai. Will he find her? Shaco continues to go after Monster Energy. He will take him down. XFX actually gets the kill. Quick Badger Me hits the huge crown on ADC Kai, but Ninja Blood 2 comes in with the Urchin Strike, and he pops the Chum the Waters. He hits Shaco. The Sea Stone Trident should kill him. He pops the Zonias to get out. The shield solution almost saves him, and there gets 2 kills off of the ultimate. He hits ADC Kai in the back as well, but Hertislia continues to push down this top lane, and nothing has stopped the engine that has Repot Maokai going. 789 might get another kill on the Gundam Grimgard. No, he hits him with the kick, the Q with the shockwave, and the resonating strike gets the kill. Amazing plays.
every game you have to try to make one hero play, and that was 789's hero play. That could have actually given them the potential to gain some of this momentum back. Stopping that push there and getting a few kills onto their mid laner is a very important step for them to be able to stop weeding some of this gold and recover some of their positioning on the map here.
And Savage Bear Dogs did exactly what a team needs to do, like you said, to try and mitigate some of this bleeding effect. They had to pick between fighting the main group or fighting one of the split pushes. They decided to fight the main group and come out on top, and now Illinois was forced to back off. But once, now that Repot is all back up, they can kind of go back to doing it. And that's the problem with facing a innate 1-3-1 composition is it's hard to address all lanes at one time, and then once you do, the enemy, in this case Repot, can actually just rotate to another lane and get towers. Shaco will actually try and go onto 80 Sky. He pops it right now, and the Wild goes behind it. He will take out the 80 Kai on the Caitlyn, but Caitlyn gets the return kill because of the turret. And so it's a 1-for-1 trade and not much gain. They might get this tier 1 turret in the mid lane. Fizz and Eloy are slow on the rotation.
This is just a tempo play again. They're trying to get a kill. They're trying to get some good feelings rolling. And
oh, but here comes the Eloy. Hertislia gets to test the spirit onto theirs, and she will look to chase them down. Can she do it though? The tentacle slowly popping. Sivir does pop the on the hunt to get them out. And that looks like the mid tier 1 will stay up just by Hertis's presence alone on its Eloy.
There's a difficult thing about playing Gragas and Olaf.
Oh, they're chunking hard. Hit 789, and Gundam looking to get the kill, but the buy slam comes through. Gundam gets out with the safeguard, but can he stay away from this Sivir? It looks like he can, and they will get a quick pick. Ugh. While the Tesla Spirit does hit XFX, the Leap of Faith kills XFX outright indefinitely, and the Ace in the hole does not find a kill, but now it's a 3v5 push, and Repot Maokai is on the better end of it. They will continue to go through. The cast does explode and hits 3 members. That might be enough to back them off, but now Baron is a certain possibility for this team. They will look to continue to push mid though. Styx, this is looking really, really bad for Bear Dogs right now. This push doesn't look like it can be stopped.
Yeah, they've gotten to a point that a lot of these champions that really need to sort of hit their critical mass on this Fizz, on this Alawi, that need their first couple of items. Hertis even so far ahead that she's going for the very bold play of getting a Trinity Force. And once you get to a certain point in these champions, you have to get your team to your late game so that you can actually deal with them. And right now, with no Executioners calling on the Sivir yet, with no possibility to actually stop this Alawi from doing what her kit enables her to with this sustained tank style of play, it's very difficult to deal with her in any sort of teamfight situation. Along with the fact that this Fizz can just completely dive the backline with now completed Zonias and a Lich Bane, which is his big 2-item power spike that allows him to one-shot virtually anybody in the game.
And they will find Skull's Head in the jungle. He's taking a lot of damage. He's taken the Ace in the hole as well, but he will be able to walk out. But you're right. Bear Dogs has no way to match the scaling from Repot Maokai, it seems. The Gragas can only use his task as a hard CC, but it's mainly supposed to be used for engage, not just disengage. But outside of that, Fizz can Playful Trickster that, and there's no real hard lockdown CC that can keep Ninja Blood from the backline, like you said. And right now, the world is Repot's oyster. They will go for this third Cloud Drake. That makes the rotations in this 1-3-1 comp even more deadly, that they'll be able to fly around the map. And Bear Dogs has no real answers other than to push out mid lane and try and continue to farm up gold and maybe get this Sivir big enough to where if she can survive long enough, she can live out through these entire team fights, and the crits on the bouncing blades will net them some kills.
The important thing to mention here is that Bear Dogs do...
Quit badgering me! Kick! No, he is kicked back in by Grimguard. What a play on the Lee Sin, that playmaking ability coming out. Now, they will push his 5. It's a 5v4 with the main source of wave clear down, and no real way to stop the engage from Repot Maokai. What will Bear Dogs do? They're slowly clearing waves. Lee Sin does land the shockwave on the Shaco. I don't think he'll go in onto the Olaf right now, though. They'll just continue to juggle back these waves, try and stop this push Bear Dogs will against Repot. Hertis has rotated the bot lane, though. She will get that push started in the bot lane, add some extra much needed pressure for Reaper Maokai to try and take one of these objectives.
I still think that Bear Dog's composition has the ability to pull through this. I still think that they can scale. They have an extremely strong late game scaling composition. They just need to push this game out to the 35-40 minute mark and not lose before them, which is very, very difficult against a split push composition. Oh, and Shaco.
And Shaco is caught out, trying to steal his blue back. There's nothing he can really do. The Chundawaras land. Well, he can actually Ragnarok out, but that's a crucial summoner spell. That's really their only form of engage outside of the Gragas cast, and this Gragas has proven not to be durable enough to survive such an engage, and now Repot will transition straight onto the Baron.
Yeah, that was a situation where Shaco has to understand his positioning with the top two towers on. You have to concede that side of the jungle. You just can't go and contest it, especially with no deep vision. They're really not controlling any of the vision around their sides of the jungle very well, which is causing them to lose a lot of momentum and pressure.
And Bear Dogs have forced Repot Maokai off of this Baron, but they had to expend a lot of ultimates to do it. They had to use the Xerath ultimate to get them off of it. But Hertisly is still just pushing in this bot lane against this Gragas. There's not much he can do. And all Repot has to do is go back, get their health back up on the recall, and then they can try and restart this Baron once again. The only thing that's really nuts Bear Dogs is some vision control, but XFX is caught by Ninja Blood, and it looks like he will go down to the Ignite. No, the Wild Growth is popped, and it saves his life. The Leap of Faith is popped in bot lane, trying to get the kill off of the Tested Spirit. Will the Tentacles finish him off? Nope. One misses. He looks to back in the wrong spot. The next one misses. And he's still being chased. Oh no, another one pops. It finally goes off and he gets away. But Repot still have vision control on this Baron, and with a 10k gold lead, just about 3 Cloud Drakes, 4 turrets, it's going to take a lot of work from Bear Dogs. Like you said, all they have to really do is try and wait for this Sivir to try and scale up, try and wait for this Xerath to scale up, and look for the right team fight. But the question is, will Repot allow that to happen? They have Baron control. All it takes is one more pick by Ninja Blood onto any real member of this team from Bear Dogs, and they can go in. Grimgurt finds XFX. He lands the Shockwave. I don't think he'll go in on that one. He won't go in on that Sonic Wave. Not yet. A little bit too dangerous. Hertisly was back in base. She does have TP though, so they can try and make a TP play in this jungle. Grimgurt actually finds Quit Badgering Me, and he'll get out. But Ninja Blood, is he too deep? No, he gets the kill on the Quit Badgering Me. Pops the Zonius. Grimgurt goes back in. He hits the Dragon's Rage. There, can't find a skill shot to save his life. The redemption will come through. Quit Badgering Me is down. The member, like we just said before, is down that they needed. Ninja Blood will clear some vision. It looks like they just want to try and go for this inhibitor. And everything's just kind of going Repot Maokai's way again. Grimgurt is still here with the potential to make a play, and that's what is zoning off Bear Dogs right now. He hits 789 with a Sonic Wave. The Thunderlords come through. Hertisly gets the Test of Spirit onto Gragas. He has to back off as well. And I don't think that Bear Dogs can contest this inhibitor for much longer.
That was actually supposed to be a bad fight for Repot Maokai. They got caught in the 2D, but that was just their ability to just flex their muscles and say, hey, look, my numbers are bigger than yours.
But are they overstaying, it seems? Skull's Head is going in. Ninja Blood will take him out, though. The Sea Stone Triumph plus Earth Strike is too strong. The Leap of Faith comes out. Hertisly takes out the Olaf very easily. Quit Badger Me is next. That could be inhibitor and possibly even the game right there.
But you see Ninja getting all of the glory for that. Kai did an insane amount of damage there, just not getting focused until the very end of the fight. And just fight on low HP, but... Oh, and no Quadra from the Fizz. That's disappointing. But Kai actually won that last game fight fairly strong. Malawi tanked a lot of the aggro, and Kai was just able to dish out 7-8 autos. All runes proc on that fight.
But that will be game 1. And Sticks, what does Bear Dogs have to do to refocus? Who do they ban, or who do they pick to sort of get them maybe a win in this game 2?
You have to realize the power of rotations, especially at this level of competitive play. If they send Sivir and Lulu top lane to deal with this Alawi, Maokai either has to respond by sending their bot lane top lane and thereby like causing this weird sort of rotation where you can get some gold on your team by having an early rotation, getting a little bit of CS lead, and it puts the pressure off of your Gragas and allows him to go and do the playmaking that he's supposed to be doing. That was really the fatal flaw in the strategy of Bear Dogs this game, is that they didn't actually get that early rotation from the AD carry that should be done in order to help your top laner from not just suffering all this punishment. And again, the 2v2 was actually played very poorly on part of Bear Dogs. They were taking a lot more damage than they should have. They were getting really bullied by this Nami and this Caitlyn. And I think that Badger and XFX are a strong enough bot lane to clean up some of those mistakes in game 2 and just get rid of a lot of those little poke trades that they were losing out on. I think that overall, 789 actually played fairly well. He made a couple of very good plays. He was putting down quite a bit of damage, and Shaco had some questionable invades into the jungle, but I think that overall their composition was sound. They had an understanding of what they were supposed to do. They just got very behind on the split push composition and weren't punishing it effectively, or at least stalling out to the point that they can team fight correctly. I'd like to see them focus a little bit more on their macro rotations and work a little bit more to give their individually strong players the opportunity that they need to continue scaling and to play their composition effectively.
Wise words from Sticks. Well, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break to allow our casters to refresh and allow you to refresh from all the hot League of Legends action. Game 2 of Repop Maokai versus Savage Bear Dogs will be going live shortly. Thanks for joining us.